Cool.
So, should be good.
All right, we're live. It's the Spinnin Backfist MMA show for Friday, June 17th. Is this the first Friday edition? Might be.
Yes, I think
First Friday edition. We're able to do it after weigh-ins. We could discuss like people missed weight and stuff. This is
That's
a
really good
weigh-in
point.
show, basically.
Post weigh-in.
Breaking news: Tony Kelly missed weight. Oh, what's going on here?
I think they can Bluetooth just.
Bluetooth.
Oh.
We're back.
No,
Are we back?
I think we were always back. That was just the TV.
That was weird.
Sorry, guys. There
TV
was something
turned off on us. If you're like, what just happened in the room? This is a live production, so shit can happen live. But we're here. It's myself, Robbie Fox, Big Ev, and Jack Mac. We're going to discuss the UFC Austin card. We're going to discuss PFL tonight and some news. What should we start with? Any of the fight announcements, maybe? The Corey Sandhagen Song Yadong fight, which Lee called on our last
Where do you think that line's going to open?
I'm going to say Sandhagen minus
150?
I was going to say 140. Was
Okay, yeah, I think that's a fair. I'll be on Song, though.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. I could end up. That's just my first gut instinct.
I will be too.
I think he's.
Going against the Sandhagen.
I don't know. Sandhagen's so good, too.
Sandhagen, I want him to get a win so bad because I think the Dillashaw fight, he got robbed, which it kind of ended up. Rob maybe a stretch, but I thought he won. But then I guess it kind of worked itself out.
Has Sandhagen been knocked out?
He got subbed by Aljo. He lost he lost a split decision to Dillashaw in 5, and then he lost a close-ish, sort of close, not really that close fight to Jan.
He fought Jan well.
He fought him well. I thought he lost. He probably lost like 4 rounds to 1.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's just a great fighter. And he's so young too. So I guess him losing the decision to Dillashaw didn't really matter because of the injury, he ended up just getting the interim belt shot anyway.
Yep.
So it kind of worked itself out. He ended up getting the opportunity that I thought he deserved. I mean, it's just tough to be in that like no man's land where like I thought he clearly just wasn't as good as Jan. I don't know how many times he wins however many times they fight. I don't know how many percentage he wins. He's in that weird spot. I think he's a little bit in no man's land, but like I said, he is very young. So we'll see. Song Yadong's really, really young.
Yeah.
He's young. I mean, Song Yadong definitely has more power, but I think Sandhagen's probably more like well-rounded.
More ways to win.
So I don't know. It's a great fight. I mean, Song can shut anybody off. I mean, how is Song's
ground game?
By the way, do we know? Is there a date?
I mean, it's September 17th, headlining a fight night.
Oh, yes. Headliner.
Yes.
Have we even seen Song Yadong on the ground?
Not really.
No,
I don't think so.
Because he fought Cheeto.
And I thought he got a decision that I thought he should have lost.
He should have lost. That was on Fight Island.
Yeah.
And then he requested a rematch recently.
I think the Cheeto fight was short notice though.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Yeah, it was that was a weird fight. I think that was like one of the first fights back.
Yeah,
during COVID.
It was early on for sure.
Because that was his chirp at Cheeto recently. He was like, I saved one of your fights.
Cheeto had some.
You owe me one, basically.
Cheeto had some racist tweets after that fight, if I recall correctly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But no, I guess Corey. Yeah, I think that line would be fair. Minus 150 around there. That's implied probability around 60%.
I think Sandhagen would be more like 200.
Okay.
Range.
It's possible.
I think Yadong would be like plus 170 to start, and Sandhagen would be like minus 200.
It'll be 5-round fight, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both have cardio, like enough to where they would be.
We know Sandhagen does, and I think Song hasn't shown any.
I just think Sandhagen is the better overall. He's more tools, but like I said, Yang just had the Song Yadong just has massive knockout power.
Another fight that got announced but kind of canceled. Chukagian had to pull out against Fior, and Fior is going to go up against Andrade in Paris, September 3rd.
Yeah,
that's going to be a sick card.
It's a better fight.
It's a banger fight.
It's a better fight, I think.
And then if Andrade wins that, does she get a rematch against? Who would she get?
She would get Carla.
Yeah, she doesn't get Carla. Does she get the winner of Carla
and
Weili, and then she gets a rematch against Weili? Because you remember that fight when Weili won against Andrade? It was weird. It was like first round finish. It was
She just
She
swarmed
just
her.
swarmed her.
Yeah.
And I think Andrade has gotten better since then.
It's hard.
So
to
is Wei
say,
Li,
yeah.
though. But
I mean,
who even knows if she can beat Fior?
Rose?
Has she fought Rose?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
She
She
jumped
got
her on her
she
head.
slammed on her head.
Yeah.
Do they redo
And then she
that?
and then she lost to her. I think they fought twice, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then Rose beat her in the rematch.
It was a three-round fight.
Rose beat her in the rematch.
Yep.
Hmm.
It's a weird.
Andrade's in a weird spot because then even like that, I mean, she kind of had to move down because like at 125, Shevchenko putted her in the crucifix.
Yeah.
It just dominated her. So I don't think anyone wants to see that fight again. So I'm not surprised at all that why she went down to 115.
Run back Rose versus Sparza, but put it on the undercard. LMAO. Nah.
That fight will never happen again.
Glover.
Dana won't let that happen.
Glover said, looking at the guillotine attempt in the 5th round of UFC 275, I feel like crying watching it again.
It broke my heart when I saw
Yeah,
that.
it broke. I felt like crying too when he did that.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Is that like Pete Carroll watching himself like not run the ball?
I think it's worse.
Yeah.
I had to be honest. I think
Worse?
it's a little bit worse.
Oh man, because it's all on him.
Well, it's I mean, I understand that. Like, listen, he's in like war mode. I'm sure it's way harder to decipher on the in the like field of battle, if you will, as opposed to sitting on the couch. How hurt your opponent is, but I can't even imagine like all the emotions running through him as he watches this guy literally out on his feet
Yeah.
and him just jump guillotine and just give him top position.
If he doesn't win back that title, he'll replay that moment in his head the rest of
I
his
hope he
life.
doesn't, though, because he climbed the mountain and then he lost it in a wild circumstance.
Yeah.
And he was on his way to stay on top of the mountain. He'll have another shot, but I mean, he's 43, 42.
Is there
42.
something to winning the title at 42 and losing it at 42 and being like mature enough to handle that?
Yes,
as well?
100%. And I think he also, I mean, that was one of the aspects that people were bringing up about Glover heading into this fight and year. I think Ev was talking about it, how Glover has been discussing for a while, this will maybe my last year fighting. I'm very confident and very happy about what I've done so far in my career. And how couldn't you be? So hopefully he's mature enough not to be like, oh man, that's the worst thing that's ever happened.
But the thing I will say is after the fight, they asked him about that, and he was like, "Did I look 42?"
Yeah.
That
He was
is
basically
true.
saying like I look good, like I got more in the tank, I have more to give.
Damon Jackson has a fight against Pat Sabatini,
Great fight.
September 17th.
A little grapple off. Maybe it turns into a stand-up battle because of the grappling.
Can't
Oh.
figure each other
That-
out.
Zabit retired.
Yeah. Zabit is officially retired. And I quote tweeted it, what the fuck? And people were like, come on, he's going into medical school. You should know this. Knew he teased the medical school. I didn't realize how quickly he was going into medical school. I thought it was like he's doing the pre-registration and in a couple of years he'll start. No, he's just done with MMA. I think he said he lost
he
his
have
passion.
A health concern.
He did mention that in his
Yes.
statement. He said his health is not bad. Like he doesn't feel like he used to feel.
All right. And was it COVID related? Did he have like a bad
No.
No.
Yeah,
think so.
it's been stemming for like a number of years. Like he just didn't.
Mike Zabit one of one card. That's gotta stink.
Yeah.
It's such a what if
His lungs, yeah.
that he's going to be in the history of MMA.
Undefeated. He
Yeah.
retires undefeated without a belt. Beat.
No, he was not undefeated.
Yeah,
I
he
think he
was.
lost- I
And
think he was
UFC.
Oh, and a UFC. Yeah.
So he
yeah.
might have lost what once, I think.
He was
maybe?
eight-
He had one
18-1.
loss?
really early in his career.
Yeah, but he was undefeated in UFC. He retires. He
Beat Keator.
He beat Keator in a really good fight.
that's one that I wish they could have ran back 5 rounds.
Yes, that was in Boston. I
I
think.
felt like the tide was turning, in my opinion.
I think that was the card Greg Hardy hit the inhaler.
Yep.
Yes, I think that's
All-time
what
Greg Hardy moment.
Also, Greg Hardy would sign it with bare knuckle.
we were talking about that like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that makes
Honestly,
a lot of sense.
I kind of feel like he could do pretty well in bare knuckle.
Yeah.
He's a
Like I almost
baller.
think that's like perfect.
His striking
Yeah.
was
There's
never
no, there's
bad.
no takedowns. It's just pure throw hands.
Are they shorter rounds too in bare knuckle?
I think it's 2 minutes.
I think it is 2 minutes. There might be.
Also
I think
good
it's
for
some. There
Greg
might be
Hardy.
more rounds, maybe, but I do believe
It
there
might
are
be.
2
It might be
minute
5
rounds.
2
I
minute.
think it's 5.
Also,
yeah.
the ring is much
I
smaller
remember when Artem fought Paulie, it was 5.
That makes sense.
because they make them. Their whole thing is you toe the line in the middle,
Yeah.
so you literally just stand like a foot away from each other and then bang go.
Yeah, what are some of the greatest
Crazy.
what ifs in UFC history? What if Glover didn't jump guillotine? What if Zabit
Ronda was supposed to fight Misha for a third time, or for a third or fourth time instead of Holly Holm, and that was criticized when they gave her that matchup. Like, what if she just fought Misha? Would it have just put off the inevitable? I guess.
Frank Mir get into like a car crash or a motorcycle crash?
Did he?
I think that was something that I saw on
Was that
Reddit.
Mir?
Yeah, I'm on the thread right now.
Oh, that red is like what
Fedor,
if Fedor
went to
UFC?
UFC?
Yeah.
That's a great one versus Lesnar.
Tito versus Chuck. I think that's
Somebody
All the
Tito versus Chuck. Yeah, somebody on UFC on MMA Reddit says, I know he was a Hall of Famer, but Frank Shamrock was 5-0 in UFC title fights when he retired at the first time in 1999, and he didn't start competing again full time until 2006.
that is crazy. Give us the what ifs in MMA history in the chat. I'm trying to
Yeah.
read it. My eyesight's so bad.
Honestly,
that
the
I
ones
can't
that on my
even
head
see
would
it.
just be like even more modern ones, like say like what if John Jones wasn't like such like a
What if
detriment
John
to
Jones
himself?
wasn't a fuck up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if
Fedor is a great one.
I was literally just gonna say it until he posted. What if Connor never boxed?
What if Conor beat Mayweather?
Well,
Or yeah, what if Khabib didn't retire?
Or Khabib versus GSP or Tony?
What if what if even GSP like didn't, or if he like stayed to defend middleweight
True.
and like kept trying to defend it instead of
Somebody
just leaving after
said-
he won?
what
Or
if
didn't retire the first time either.
Yeah.
somebody said, what if Herschel Walker started fighting earlier? I mean, I don't know. Like, what if Herschel Walker didn't play football? I guess.
So what if Jose Canseco didn't get beat up every time he tried MMA?
By Billy Football as
Num-
well.
Number 41.
Yeah,
in
number
the world.
41 on Tapology, pound for pound right now. Jose Canseco.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be a meme or something within the Tapology community, because Tapology is just a community rankings average, and for whatever reason, Jose Canseco's 41st.
So
Permanent
they must have just
41.
They
flooded.
flooded.
Votes.
He's 0-1
I
in
like that. That's funny. Is
What if-
his Billy Football fight like in the Tapology
No.
and like
Oh,
amateur
it
boxing?
probably is an
Boxing.
amateur. It's probably in the amateur, but he only has one professional. Somebody in Reddit said CM Punk, he quit too soon. That's fucked up.
What if George Masvidal didn't get his knee against Askren? What would have happened to Masvidal in the future, and would have Askren beat
Imagine Askren
Masvidal?
beat him. Oh my god, that's a weird.
I
reality
think-
to
If he
about.
would have fought for the belt, probably, or he not fought for
He
the
would
belt,
probably
would have
fight
been one, he
away.
would have been one away.
Yeah.
Like at worst, one away.
Shout out Ben Askren.
All right, keep giving us the what ifs in the chat.
I like the middleweight if Gegard never left too.
Yeah,
The success he's had in Bellator.
it's crazy. Yeah.
Somebody said Brendan Schaub, if he wasn't such a great stand-up comedian, he could have gone all the way, man.
Say, what if Joe Rogan never told him to quit?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I think you'd be surprised. Classic line.
He was, I think you'd be surprised.
Maybe Overeem, if he came earlier.
Yeah.
He could have won that title that eluded him his entire career.
Yeah.
There could be like a bunch of guys like, what if they didn't do steroids?
Yeah. Let's talk about the PFL card tonight. We've got a PFL card live at 10 p.m. on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Like I've said, I prefer watching the fights on ESPN Plus.
I think that's
They
the main
let it
card.
fly
This
a little more.
prelims, I think, started like 6
At
or
7.
At 7.
Prelims at 7. Collard versus Martinez. Lightweights tonight. Tonight's round 4 of 6, right? In the regular season for PFL. And there's good fights all over the card. You were just telling me Jeremy Stevens had to shave his head and his beard.
He
Just to
did.
make
He looks
weight.
like, we should post it if you see. He literally looks like a different person.
A smooth
wild.
Jeremy Stevens. We've got the Canadian gangster on the card tonight. Akhmedov. Who else
Yeah,
is
no,
on
I
this? Good
posted it.
card.
I posted it yesterday.
I was-
He looks.
He looks crazy.
Yeah.
It's just so weird to see someone that just had like a big beard their whole life, just have a shaved head and no beard. Looks like a totally different person.
Looks way older too.
He's a huge favorite in this fight too. He's minus like 700.
Well,
7
I hope he
p.m.,
gets
10
a-
p.m.
Yeah, I hope he gets a decent win here, like easily, because the last
The
win
fight
was
with Clay
not good.
Collard, I thought it could have went either way. I was surprised it was so unanimous Collard's way. That was one of the best fights of the year, no question.
What for you, Ev? You said you like a play on this card?
Yeah, I actually, as much as I like the guy as a person, I think I'm fading the Canadian gangster.
No.
Oh no!
Roush Manfio is the defending lightweight champion in PFL. He's so disrespected. He's plus 155. All the guy does is win.
Also, the Canadian gangster didn't look great in his first fight.
For me, it's Manfield at plus 155. I just think is it's a good bet.
Also, it's like the over 2.5 is like minus 270. So it's like it's going to come down to a very close decision anyway. And if you're going to, you might as well take 3.
3-round fight.
You might as well take the dog. And then
I really like Manfield in the fight. I think he's got a really good chance. Plus, I'm surprised he's that much of a dog. I understand that the Canadian gangster's got the grappling edge, like wrestling edge. Totally get it. I just think Manfield, he's just a gamer. He's a total gamer.
And Shoeface is on this card. The defending lightweight champion, Antonio Carlos Jr. He's got a fight against Bruce Soto. That's the co-main event. That's also a banger.
Antonio Carlos Jr. minus 250 to win by submission.
Yeah, he's minus like 1,200 just to win the fight.
Love it.
Yeah.
Collard, Martinez, main event. Is Collard a heavy favorite in that one?
Not crazy.
No,
I think minus like 200, I think, or 180.
Yeah, like
I think about 180, not too crazy.
Minus 180, and then on the flip side, plus 140 for
Collard's
Martinez.
got a chin of fucking steel, man. Some of the shots that Stevens was hitting him with in that fight, and he just kept coming forward, was insane.
Oh my
Lot of
God.
respect
Look
for
at the
Collard.
abs on Schultz here. Nathan Schultz.
Yeah.
This guy's got washboard abs.
Oh my God.
He looks like an action figure.
He does look like a G.I. Joe right there.
Do we want to put together an unofficial, official PFL parlay?
Yeah, why not?
Shoeface.
By the way, everybody, everything's available on the Barstool Sportsbook, even props too for PFL tonight. If you want to spend your Friday night watching the fights, which we recommend you do, you can get some action if you're in a Barstool Sportsbook state.
I know they're huge odds. There's like a Shoeface by finish. Jeremy Stevens, Clay Collard. That'd be decent. Clay Collard's minus 180, so that's not a terrible piece to add.
Yeah.
Honestly, Akhmedov too, I would add. He's a big favorite too, minus like 590, but I think he should absolutely run through his opponent.
Rob Wilkinson too.
Wilkinson as well. Love Wilkinson. Razor Rob.
If you do Wilkinson money line, Akhmedov money line, Carlos Antonio Jr. to win by finish, and Stevens money line, it comes out to plus 132.
Boom.
Okay, so say it one more time.
Wilkinson money line, Akhmedov money line, Stevens money line, and Antonio Carlos Jr. to win by finish. Plus 132.
What is it with Collard in there too? Money line.
With Collard in, it is plus 260.
You don't like Collard?
No, I was about to say.
I like
it's probably like close to 3-1.
I like Martinez by sub in that fight. It's plus 700, but like Martinez, most of his finishes are by sub, and Collard's a boxer. Doesn't have like terrible wrestling, but I think on the ground it's a wide difference. So
we're gonna tweet out the final parlay. So go on the Spinnin Backfist Twitter. Lee's gonna put it up, and that'll be our PFL parlay for tonight to get you wet in the beak before tomorrow. UFC Austin, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Now let's talk about this UFC Austin card. I'm gonna pull the card up right now. We were saying before, it's a great card. Honestly, start to finish, it is awesome. And they're kicking it off with the Kyle Dawkins fight versus Roman Dolidze. Is that how you say his last name? Dolidze?
Yep.
It's Georgian.
Ooh, Georgian. That there was a big crazy, maybe possibly racist. I'm not sure. It's not a race, right? But offensive chant going on at UFC London about the Georgians.
Okay.
There's a rivalry there, I think.
Yes. And I think that's because Topuria is technically Georgian too.
He fights
and that's
for them, right? He flies the flag for them and stuff.
I think that's the genesis of the beef between Ilya and Patty, because Patty said something about Georgia uninformed and he apologized for it. But then there's also the English fans don't have the best reputation when it comes to inclusivity, I guess.
Manners.
Manners, yeah.
We love them, but not the best reputation. This is a good fight to start the card. I like the Dawkins brothers. I like both of them. Is this Dawkins the Darce Knight?
Yes.
I mean, how could you not love the Darce Knight?
And I do generally like him by sub in this fight.
Yeah. How could you not? The Darce.
I said it before we're off air. I love what they've been doing. Like not every card, but most of the cards. They've been making like the first fight of the night like a really, really strong fight. Like this fight could clearly be much higher up on the card, but I like to just start it, like especially a big. I've noticed they've done it with the big fight nights. They've made like a banger card, like the first fight, early prelims. Make it like makes you want to get in the door early.
It's not the longest card either. It starts at 4. The main card's at 7, right? Yep. So it's like it will be a good card to pregame with if you're going out later that night.
Yeah,
I like Dawkins in that fight. You like Dawkins by submission. You want Dawkins as well?
Yeah, I think Dawkins is a good play here. I like both of them. I think he's the more talented one. Sorry for outside yaks going on right now.
That
was just. I think that was Brandon.
Had to be Brandon.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something.
Sounds like they got a fight going on out there. Brandon's famously fought in that hallway before.
If you're betting Dawkins for this fight, I think a good one would be on the Barstool Sportsbook. They have like the alternate rounds. I've done this before, but Dawkins round 3 or decision is plus 120. The leads really gasses. So I think his only way is really just holding people against the cage, getting cage time, control. But he still gasses, and I think a better submission artist is Dawkins. It's going to be they're both very similar guys. So I think the round 3 or decisions, like if you want better odds, is the way to go for this fight. It's plus 120 right now.
I like that. The next fight, middleweight, Phil Hawes versus Duron Winn. This is an interesting fight because Phil Hawes for a long time was touted as the next John Jones. Duron Winn was touted for a long time as the next DC. This is John Jones versus DC
legacy
part 3.
fight.
Mini me.
Yes, this is like the like when TNA would put on like WWE old WWE matchups. That's kind of what this is. Now I gotta lean Phil Hawes here. I've told the story before. Phil Hawes is from my hometown of Little Ferry, New Jersey, 1 square mile. Grew up with my older sister. Went to high school with my older sister. Has been over my house before. At, like parties and stuff. I never met the guy. Never in my life. But I've always rooted for him because of that. Always has been known to be a great guy around town and everything. So shout out Phil Hawes, the pride of Little Ferry, New Jersey.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't hate Winn here, but I'm definitely not going to suggest Duron Winn in the parlay. Duron Winn's somebody that I've seen a lot of love for this week. However, it's just every time I've watched him fight, uninspired. He just is like, bleh. I get why people like him here. I think Hawes is more talented, but Duron Winn could kind of just like grapple fuck him.
Hawes is a pretty heavy favorite, right? He's like minus 200 something.
260, yeah.
265.
I don't love Hawes for a parlay piece. I think Winn could definitely win this, but win. But I don't know. It's just like something. Duron Winn is just like, it's just like I don't know if I want to invest in him either.
I think he made his debut, if I remember correctly, his MMA debut on the Chuck versus Tito 3 card.
Duron Winn,
or the like 4, whatever that most recent.
He has been around for a while.
Like the one where they were way too old.
They were old men, yes.
Yeah.
Liddell versus Ortiz 3, correct, Robbie?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I don't know if I could put Hawes in this parlay if I was at gunpoint.
No,
at minus 265. I just don't feel good about him. I just don't think he's that good. I think I will play Winn money line, probably like small, like a 1 unit. I'm not like
a Little Ferry.
I know, but he's plus 200. It's juicy. I don't like I said. I don't like love Winn. I just don't think Hawes is very good. I just think him laying minus 265 is just nuts.
Win decision is the side. I think it's like plus 400.
Okay,
it's like plus 400. No. I think Hawes in round 1. I think Hawes should win this fight. The problem is it's just like the chin.
There's a YouTube playing on Robbie's computer up top. Just
that's our YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. I heard some
bang. No, it's all good.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Now, I mean, Winn has the decided wrestling advantage, but Hawes should. I mean, if you watch the Hawes like first 3 minutes before he got knocked out versus Curtis,
amazing.
He looks so good.
Solid.
Yeah.
Like I think he should beat up Duron Winn pretty handily, but like the odds aren't.
Got a big reach advantage.
Yeah. I think 6-inch height advantage is. Duron Winn's 5'6". He's a 5'6" middleweight.
Yeah. Up next at bantamweight, Eddie Wineland versus Cody Stamen. This one, I view it as like Cody Stamen runs him over.
I mean, I don't see how not. Like how's Eddie Wineland?
He hasn't looked good in his last. Well, his last fight he didn't look horrible until he got finished.
Yeah.
He did get finished in his last fight.
I
right?
mean, what's
Remember
Stamen
that
up to
correctly?
now? Minus 450.
560.
560 on Barca Sportsbook.
Holy shit! I didn't realize it was that steep.
I think
Yeah, he got
I don't
finished
really
the
want to
first
bet
round.
this fight. I think Stamen's definitely the side, but just too much juice. Like I'm just not.
Yeah, Stamen's the pick without a doubt, but I don't know if you're. Yeah, I don't see him losing. So
That's
me
even-
saying I don't see him losing would suggest put him in the parlay, but I don't know. Stamen decision minus 134.
That was what I was looking at. Even that's a little like. I'll probably just. I think that's probably the right
I
side.
think
I think that's
yeah.
probably what's going to happen.
I like that.
I just probably won't bet that. But
Stamen decision is like plus 100. It's even money. So,
here it's up to minus 135 now.
oh, really?
That's why at that price plus 100 I would have maybe taken a stab at it. 135 I'll probably just watch. But
I mean, Stamen's last like six or seven opponents: Aljo, Alejandro Perez, Song Yadong, Brian Kelleher, Jimmy Rivera, Marab, and Saeed Nurmagomedov. Like this is the
Yeah,
easiest fight
yeah.
for him in a long time.
You're right.
Wineland's just getting old too. He's getting up there.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that the game is almost moving past.
He was a
at this point.
WEC guy.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I really what Lee's just said really helps me like Stamen even more. Like this is just going to be like nothing to him.
We could put him in the parlay.
I like him in the parlay. In the women's strawweight division, we've got Maria Oliveira. I went to school with a girl named Maria Oliveira, different person, versus Gloria DePaula. I think Gloria DePaula is the favorite in this, right?
Minus 260.
Minus 260. That's another like, oh my God, that's a pretty heavy person to play in this. Do you think those odds are too heavy? Is she way better?
I think, yeah, but I think it's also she's just
Well, he's a contender
she's
series
just
girl.
as good as those odds suggest. It's a lot to pay for her though. She's
Yeah,
fighting
I'm
a bum. Like Maria Oliveira is a bum.
Maria
But-
Oliveira is 2-3 in her last 5 fights, and only one has been in the UFC.
Yeah, like she's not good. But DePaula is
They're both young too.
DePaula, I think's the side there, but honestly, it's like you're like, yeah.
He's one of those like DePaul could come out and look minus like 600. here,
Yeah.
but I just don't like laying it with someone like that especially women's MMA laying almost minus 300.
I
In,
no
in the
thanks.
strawweight division, yeah.
Just
stay away
not
from
not
that.
crazy about that. I just don't think that's a good
Hard
betting
hitters for
strategy long
strawweights.
term.
personally, I have DePaul in a parlay because I think Oliveira is that big of a bum.
I don't
but
think
yeah,
she
but-
definitely could look like just a massive favorite for sure.
I wouldn't.
I don't hate De Silva at all. Like I don't know if we want to put her in our parlay. We can keep
DePaula.
her. Yeah, DePaula. Sorry, De
Silva's later
Silva
on.
later. DePaula is somebody that we could keep in the back burner if we want to add somebody to the parlay, but I think she's good. Like if you're looking for a prelims parlay piece, she's somebody that I think will go in there and impress. The girl she's fighting stinks. Like she's not good.
In her contender series fight, she fought Marina Rodriguez and literally tapped just quit 3 minutes in.
I was gonna say one of these girls was the one that quit on the contender.
Yeah,
series. I
that
remember
was Oliveira.
I don't get it. Like
How did you
there's
get a contract?
yeah, that's what I'm like.
Beats me.
All right, maybe those odds are where they should be. In the featherweight division, we've got Ricardo Ramos versus Danny Chavez. Is Ricardo Ramos the heavy favorite in this one?
Minus 335.
Yeah. Do you want him in the parlay? I like him in this fight for sure.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to him in the parlay. I wouldn't say I'm like crazy about it, but I mean, I would think he should win this fight.
Danny Chavez didn't look very good against
No.
Jared Gordon.
No, not at all.
I think Ramos is going to have the decided grappling edge in this fight. That's for sure.
I think he's got like the speed on him too.
Yeah, former bantamweight. That's the thing that is a little like bit concerning because this is going to be his second fight. I think moving up from 35 to 45.
He's younger and more experienced.
I agree,
too.
though. No, I like him still.
Yeah. 15-4 against Chavez is 11-4.
And he also Chavez, like he lost to Kai Kamaka last fight. I don't know why it was a draw. Yeah, like he lost that fight. So I don't think Chavez is really all that. He's also 35. Like it's
We could circle him for the parlay and come back to it at the end and decide if we want to go there or not.
Court McGee in the welterweight division makes his return against Jeremiah Wells. This is a tough one to decide on because it's like you want to pick the Court McGee underdog every time.
He's actually the favorite now.
Oh, is he?
He's minus 125 now on Barstool Sports.
Oh my God, that's some serious line movement. I think he opened around.
It was like swat. It was pretty much the other way. Yeah, it was about the other way.
Yeah, he was the underdog. Now it makes me think about it even differently.
Jeremiah Wells is tough. Yeah, because he's looked really good in his 2 fights. The second fight, though, he fought Blood Diamond, who just like has literally zero grappling whatsoever.
You remember he ran around the ring?
Just grapple fucked him into a submission.
He ran around the ring and almost like twisted his ankle. That would have been brutal for him.
So he's looked really impressive. He's looked very strong and powerful, but especially in the first fight, I think he knocked out Worley Alves, I believe, in his first fight and looked pretty impressive in the first round. And he's also one of those Renzo Gracie Philly guys. I just think it's tough to. We just haven't seen him against someone as good, especially as good at grappling as Court McGee. So I think I don't know. I'm very like, I think the odds are correct in that it should be like a coin flipish fight. I don't think we know how good Jeremiah Wells is. And that's the problem. This is a big test.
Does that make you lean on Court McGee just with the experience in a fight like that?
A little bit. I've seen some people on Twitter be very confident in him. I know Lee. I think you have a big play on.
That's my biggest play.
You like Court McGee, right?
Court McGee, yeah.
Wow.
I like Court.
I've seen some people that I do like their MMA knowledge be very high in Court McGee. I'm kind of like
I love him as a fighter. I want him to win.
Yeah, I like him too. I'm kind of like I'm not sure yet. I'll see on tomorrow. I'm probably like wait and see right now. Maybe just enjoy that one as a fan. But I don't hate anyone being like very high in Court McGee because it makes a lot of sense.
Wells doesn't have the greatest cardio, if I recall correctly. Correct. And that's not going to be
a lot very unproven.
McGee, like, so you could even look at like a Court McGee, like round 2/round 3. But I'm with Lee, or not, but Robbie, are you going to be on McGee?
Yeah.
So I'm with Lee and Robbie here, and it seems like I was leaning that way too.
I would lean that way.
I'm definitely on McGee here. It's the line switches. That's some serious line movement from like 45% to 55%. That's legit.
McGee is the underdog. Like I feel like that. It's like C-level Kane, underdog McGee.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
One of those things.
What are you gonna say, Lee?
McGee has the decided cardio advantage. Like I think even if Wells didn't get the knockout in Alves in the first, he got it in the first 30 seconds of round 2. If he didn't get that, Alves was going to absolutely dial him up for the rest of that fight. I don't think he has the cardio. I think round 3 is for sure going to be for Court McGee. And Court McGee looked great grappling. Wells is a black belt under Daniel Gracie, so he's good on the ground, but I don't think his wrestling is all that. And if he tires out, I think Court McGee is that gritty guy who's going to take it to him the whole fight.
Wells is a Philly guy?
Yeah.
And you're going against him.
I know.
Biggest play of the card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I was
mojo.
I know.
Fight now.
No, you're not wrong. But I think Court McGee should have been. He's looked so much better in the last 2 fights. I think the fight against Brahimaj, which was his last fight, really showed something to me. I think he's going to take it to him. If he survives the first round, it's going to be Wells' first round or McGee decision is what this fight's going to be.
And if Wells gets McGee on the ground in like a potential submission like spot, I think McGee's good enough to defend against a submission.
Yeah. Like, there's no way that McGee's going to tap to a rear naked choke that doesn't have legs in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like against Blood Diamond. Like, Wells is for sure strong, but he is 35 years old. Court McGee is only 37. Like there's only a 2
Jeremiah Wells is 35.
He's 35.
When did he start training MMA?
This is why I looked it up. Dude, his first pro MMA fight was 2012. So he's been fighting for 10 years, but he's only had 12 fights.
Yeah.
Or 13 fights.
I would have said Jeremiah Wells was 28.
Yeah,
but he's 35.
Honestly,
so
what I'm looking at here, just based on because I agree with Lee a lot that the cardio edge should be significant. I could see, imagine if he tires him out, gets like a late round sub, maybe just at a pure Court McGee by sub is 13-1.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
Round three is going to be around that too.
Yeah, round 3 I don't think is a bad play either, because I do agree that would be, I think, the way he gets it done. McGee round 3 and decision is plus 130.
Yeah.
So if you want that little bit of that juice back on that could be a way to look at it as well. 13-1 sub, I think, is a crazy line. That's really, really,
that is nuts.
Really, really big odds.
The only thing is Jeremiah is probably good at defending against submission, but if
For
you
sure,
get so
but I
tired,
think
Hit or
they
something,
get
yeah.
tired like the
If
late rounds.
McGee gets on top, I don't think that Wells is getting out because he uses too much of just that brutality, strength, and just almost like how Yuri did it against Glover. He almost relies on that too much, and as much of a veteran as Court is, I think he's going to do really well.
He's plus 450 by finish as well, Court McGee.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you like something
I like
late,
those odds.
or even take a shot like Lee, like take a shot third round, I'm sure is big odds. Something like that for Court McGee, I don't think it's a bad look at all.
Moving on in the women's flyweight division, we've got Natalya Silva versus Jasmine Jesuda Vicious. 7-1 Jasmine Jesuda Vicious versus Natalya Silva 12-5. I think I saw someone on Twitter saying that like the losses on Silva's record actually aren't horrible. They're like decent losses. Yeah. And she's also only 25, so she's super young.
I favor her here. What are the odds on it?
Jasmine's minus 250.
And you like Silva?
Yeah, I would say like if you're looking for underdog in the women's fights in these cards, I think this is the card you would take De Silva in, or the spot where you would take the underdog. I don't hate her. I think she's young. I think she's improving. Jasmine's not bad either, though. But it's
Jasmine's pretty good, I thought.
Silva's last loss was to Marina Rodriguez in 2017. So she's on a 6-fight win streak, 4 by finish, all being via armbar or arm lock.
What's the under 2.5 in this fight?
Under 2.5 is plus 175.
I don't hate that either.
Yeah, and fight not go the distance plus 140.
Silva by sub is plus 600.
I don't hate a shot at Silva here.
Yeah, I think she's and then Jasmine's finish rate is what?
It's not good.
It's not great. That's the thing. But
she hasn't finished someone since 2020.
So if you're going to take under 2.5, you might as well just take De Silva inside the distance or like by sub or something. However, I mean, this isn't a confident play at all. Like this is just more so, it's never bad to take some shots on these plus 200 dogs, specifically in women's MMA. Seems like we get some good value on them.
Yeah. Jess DeVicious has 50% finish rate, and but she hasn't. She lost to Elise Reed in 2020 in CFFC, then won 2 unanimous decisions, one being on Contender Series, and then beat Kay Hansen by unanimous decision at UFC 270. But Kay Hansen's a 115er, and Jasmine looked.
That's not the most.
Jasmine looked huge against her.
Yeah.
I think I didn't think Kay Hansen should have been cut by the UFC, but if you remember, that was our first.
Oh yeah, you were a big fan.
Not a big fan in the other,
the
but I was
OnlyFans
saying
comment.
she does have an OnlyFans, and she was running a discount for the fight week.
You were saying you like private chat with her.
No. That's
You're a
lost.
subscriber.
I'm not a subscriber.
There's a big Kay Hansen on MMA Twitter going on right now.
I saw the picture.
Yeah.
There's
a picture
being memed from her OnlyFans.
Yeah.
She's getting a.
I guess I gotta go look.
She's getting a vicious wedgie.
Oh man,
it's a big meme photo right now. Lee, can you pull it up and show it to them live on air?
Yeah.
While Lee gets that, the featured prelim of the night is Adrian Yanez versus Tony Kelly.
Fight.
Tony Kelly did miss weight earlier today, weighed in at 137.5, I believe. And he's kind of the villain in this fight because of what he said. And people are, oh, that's not. I don't even think that's the one I saw. No, that's not what I saw. I saw one of like someone like holding her up, like it was like, and someone said like, "Where can you find this?" And I don't know if this was photoshopped or not, but it said John Morgan like responded to it and said like the MMA fans, OnlyFans like subreddit or something. I think the McGregor Rousey guy tweeted it.
I'll find that one.
But yeah, poor Kay Hansen. She's trying to
Didn't know
sell
she-
that
didn't know she was-
content,
she was doing-
not give it away for free.
Didn't know she was doing video content on the old OnlyFans as well.
You should have hit up Jack. He knows all about it.
No, I don't.
Um,
I'm just saying she wasn't that bad.
I do like Yanez in this fight. I think even before Tony Kelly missed weight, I think everyone's been on Yanez. Do you like him in that?
I love Yanez just in general. Big fan of Yanez. Honestly, if Kelly didn't miss weight, I might have taken a shot at him as a dog. Just because I think the line's like I don't know if Yanez should be minus 335 against him. Just because I think Tony Kelly's not bad.
Missed weight today.
He did miss weight, so that people that miss weight just usually. I mean, obviously we saw Oliveira just do it, but that was a little fluky. And I think just in general, guys that miss weight just usually don't do very well. So I like Yanez in general. I think he wins the fight. But yeah, like I said, I think I might have taken. Oh God.
Let me see.
Oh wow, yeah, that's quite the wedgie.
Where's this video?
Shout out McGregor Rousey on Twitter. Very funny guy. Just go to his Twitter, and it's his last tweet at McGregor Rousey. That's the image we're looking at.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think Yanez wins the fight. I mean, his striking is just phenomenal, and I like his durability. I mean, he showed a lot against, especially that last fight against
tough
Randy
guy.
Costa. Randy Costa was picking him apart in the first round, and he just I don't know what came over him in that second round. He just came over and just dominated and just finished him pretty quick in that second round. I really like Yanez. I think Yanez, if he wins this fight pretty significantly, I would like to see him get a ranked guy. I really would.
Yeah.
He's been on a tear since he's
I
been in
think
the
that's
UFC,
fair, especially
and he's
after
been
beating
very
someone like
he's,
Randy Costa.
and now he's been impressive in the UFC as well. Really solid wins, some big knockouts. His fight against really good performance against Davey Grant. I think he gets to this fight good, solidly. I think he should get a ranked guy, or at least
I think he will,
close
too.
to it.
The problem is Tony Kelly comes forward a lot, and that was his thing, or that's why he lost the first round against Randy Costa. Yanez did. I don't think Yanez should be this big of a favorite. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. I would never include him in the parlay for this week. But I think Yanez round 3 is probably the best bet. That's plus 1,000. I think Kelly's gonna start to falter down the line now, especially with the weight cut issue. I think Yanez is gonna piece him up pretty good late. But I think Kelly could still win round 1. I think this is gonna be a little 29-28 action.
I wonder what the cumulative record of fighters are since starting OnlyFans. That would be a really good stat. Advanced, advanced stats. At Spinning Backfist, advanced
Sabermetrics.
Yeah. Kicking off the main card tomorrow is Julian Marquez versus Gregory
This is a
Rodriguez
great
in
fight.
the middleweight
Great fight.
division. This is going to be probably a slugfest, right?
This is what, the RoboCop against the Cuban Missile?
Yep.
Yeah, and Gregory Rodriguez, is he going to try to grapple? Is Rodriguez a grappler?
Yes. Well, he is, and he should for this fight, but he hasn't shown the willingness to really grapple, because in his last fight against Petrosian, he should have grappled him.
Oh, yeah. I
He should have
remember.
grappled him the whole time,
Yeah.
and instead lost a split decision.
Julian Marquez is just going to brawl him, I think.
I like Marquez in this fight a lot.
I like
really do.
Marquez. I
I
did
like him a
Marquez's
lot.
podcast once with him and Kendra Lust. He does a podcast.
Oh
with.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He was only called out Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, did you guys know that there's an MMA woman coming? Not she's like MMA media, I guess you'd say, on Barstool Idol.
Who?
Well, you wouldn't know her. She has not a lot of followers, and she hasn't done a UFC video in a while. But yeah, she's gonna be.
Cool.
I'll show you the photos after.
Welcome to
Or who she is.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, we'll Barstool Idols next week, everybody. She's
On
an
the Yak.
MMA junkie, I think. She says on her Instagram, it's on the Yak. It will be great content, and yeah, maybe.
I know. I saw Jeff D'Lo getting his ducks in a row. It's always fun when you see Jeff preparing something. You're like, oh, this is gonna be wacky. This is gonna be weird.
Yes, and so maybe if she's around next week, she can come on the show or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. We could do it could be
a
part of a
Barstool.
tryout. With
Yeah, we'll
Idol.
see. Yeah, we'll see how much We'll ask her about prelims cards for the August 8th card and see oh, what do you think of this fight?
Yeah, what do you think of Garam in the next fight versus Ismagulov?
I like
the next
Garam in
fight
that.
in the lightweight
Yes.
division.
I love Garam.
Yeah.
I
What
wish
are the
we
odds
could.
on this?
Can we get
Plus
He is
135.
Can we just get a Garam boosted Spinning Backfist boost?
The Hamzat boost.
Love Garam. Love Garam.
Hamzat's boy.
He should be the favorite.
Yeah, no, he is the one that trains with Hamzat. Yeah, that makes me.
He was
love him.
honestly he got cucked by
And
Darren Till.
He's really good in like
He
like
did get
grappling
cucked by him.
He got
scrambles,
big
right?
time cucked by Darren Till.
Yeah,
He beat
was the original
Matthias
BFF.
Gamrot.
I think Lee is
Yeah.
in love with this man.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Lee was talking to me about him earlier in the week.
I don't know how you can put him as the underdog
agree.
when he beat Gamrot, even though he said after the fight, like, "Oh, I didn't win, brother. That was your fight." No, Guram, you won, buddy. You won.
Where's Guram from?
Georgia.
Georgia? Okay.
Georgia trains in Sweden at All Stars with Hamzat. I got him at plus 150.
What's he now?
Plus 135. I think he has.
like him enough to put a underdog in the parlay.
That would be wild.
That'd be wild.
Be wild.
I don't hate
Hey,
it though.
but we need to make some units back.
We're still up.
We're still up. No, I know.
We're up 8 units still. Guram has power advantage. Demir got dropped in the first 15 seconds against Rafael Alves in his last fight. Even though he showed up on weight today, he's had weight problems in the past and he's had cardio issues. I think Guram's the side. I think I would just take money line. I don't think there's a specific way that you could really like love it prop wise in this fight, but Guram is he's awesome.
Team
Yes.
Guram. We're Team Guram. in
War
that fight.
Guram.
War Guram.
I don't think anybody here is really sleeping on Demir though. Demir should be top 15. It's just
Demir's good.
He's really good, but he's a very much just a decision machine, and he just doesn't do much. Guram's gonna, I think, take advantage of his cardio and just work his way up. We don't know how good his wrestling is, but he's been training for 2 years with Hamzat now, like working on his wrestling in Sweden. I think it should be much improved.
I would love to see it.
I love Guram.
The next fight in the middleweight division is Joaquin Buckley versus Albert Durav. Do we like Buckley in this fight? Who's the favorite in this?
Durav is a minus 250.
I
Probably.
Buckley.
I think Durav, I think Durav
Speaking of
should be
Till-
the favorite.
Speaking of
250, maybe he's long.
Till and Chimaev and Hamzat, when we're talking about Guram, there's that really funny video of Joaquin Buckley going up to Darren Till, and then Hamzat comes around and is like, "You
Who's
want
that guy?"
problem?" And then he walks away and he goes to Darren Till. Is like, "Who's that guy?"
Had no idea.
Yeah, fun fact: Durayev's 3 losses, so he's 15-3.
Yep.
His 3 losses all by first round knockout.
Interesting.
And Buckley is a power,
Yeah,
Sure.
Starter.
Sure.
Maybe
first
first
round
round
guy. I'm on fight doesn't go to decision.
Okay.
Pretty big at minus 200.
think
That line's a little bit juiced, but it's gone up since then. I don't know if Duraev gets Buckley down, he's going to finish him.
That's
And
what he's. Yeah.
Buckley has the decided advantage on the feet still. So, and they're former training partners too.
Oh.
When Buckley was at Extreme Couture in Vegas. So, I think Duraev wins. I think Duraev inside inside the distance at plus 130 is not bad. But fight doesn't go the distance. If we were gonna pick one thing from this fight, I would do that for a parlay. I honestly realize we can't do that, or if we can, I would do it. But Duraev inside the distance isn't bad prop wise.
We can do fight doesn't go the distance.
I
I actually like it.
I love it.
So I think
I like that.
because I kind of think Duraev's going to just grapple fuck him.
His wrestling
But I
didn't look
like
great
the,
though.
But I like the idea of that kind of saves us if he just gets clipped.
Yeah. He doesn't have a great chin. He got knocked down against Kopylov in his UFC debut.
Yeah.
In the welterweight division, Tim Means takes on Kevin Holland. I love Kevin Holland in this fight. Tim Means is another one of those guys who, no disrespect to him, feels like MMA is moving past him, slowing down.
The only thing with I agree, like Kevin Holland, obviously much more athletic and more talented. My only thing, the number seems just a hair big to me.
I agree.
Just because Means is kind of like he's fine getting in those firefights, and he's just like a tough, durable guy.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that scares me a little bit. Where if this just becomes like a brawl, and then all of a sudden we get to the scorecards, and it's like we're looking at a close decision, split decision, and you'd rather be holding the plus 225 ticket than the minus 295. Like I think Holland should win. I love Holland as a person and as a fighter, but I think Means is I think he's being slept on a little bit by the odds makers, just a little bit.
38 though. He's getting up.
I hear you. Trust me. I hear you.
Yeah.
Like Holland should win. I agree 100%.
He didn't put out much volume in his last fight against Nick Dalby. Mostly a karate guy, and he got clipped in the third round. He cardio falls off a little bit. Trains in New Mexico in a gym that like nobody's ever heard of in Albuquerque. It's called like the Fit Gym, the MPG Fit or something like that. I was obviously researching it, but he just doesn't throw much volume. I think Holland's eventually going to connect. I think Holland KO is.
He's just so durable.
He is.
What it means. I don't think he's been even. I was going to say I was thinking it. I think Alex just said in the chat like he's never been knocked out. I was thinking in my head. I was trying to remember if he had. I didn't think that he had.
He is a wrestling coach too. I did see that on the Instagram.
I even look at like never been knocked out stats now, and I think back to like Frankie Edgar. We said that about for so long, and then eventually it just happened.
Yeah, the chant when it goes, it goes.
It goes.
That right hand by Holland against Alex Oliveira was picture perfect though. That's what I always go back to. It's just like Alex
Oliveira. He knocked out Buckley with.
If Oliveira and Means were gonna fight, like what would the line be? Because I think it would be like a very close to even.
Probably, yeah,
exactly, and it can just happen again.
The co-main event for the night is the rescheduled bout from a few pay-per-views ago. I think it was supposed to be on a pay-per-view, right?
Yes.
Joe Lauzon versus Donald Cerrone. Arguably a bigger stage for them at this point. The co-main event on this UFC
in
Austin
Texas
card. Yeah, in Texas for a Cowboy fight. Does the pressure get to Cowboy yet again? Sometimes it has in his career. I'm obviously going to go on the Joe Lauzon side here. Love Joe Lauzon. I think at this point in their careers, Lauzon has the grappling advantage. I think he's got the boxing advantage. I think he's got the speed advantage. I think he's probably got the cardio advantage.
I think
I'm going to go on Lauzon.
I think Lauzon's cardio is going to be a little bit suspect. I think if anything here, a good play would be under 2.5, or fight doesn't go the distance. I honestly, those are very much close to the same place. It's depending on what you want to do, but I think we could see like a early first round KO for Lauzon.
Yeah.
Or we could see Cerrone kind of just late in the second, maybe start the third, end Lauzon. But my pick would be under 2.5. And if I had to pick a side, definitely Cerrone.
There's no 2.5 right now.
Yeah.
There's no 2.5 right now, but under 1.5 is plus 130. Fight doesn't go the distance, minus 225.
What are the straight odds on this one?
Lauzon plus 134, Cerrone minus 167.
I love Lauzon.
Like Cerrone, you feel confident getting Cerrone almost minus 170 at this point in his career?
No.
But like Lauzon, you could say the same thing about Lauzon. He's been around
plus money.
It's a toss him.
Money, yeah.
I think Lauzon plus or Lauzon KO plus 500.
Yeah,
is
Lauzon KO is the.
And also Lauzon round 1 is plus 600.
I feel like it looks like Lauzon versus Diego Sanchez at UFC 200, and Lauzon just comes out with like guns
Fury
blazing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I mean, should be a good fight.
I would never
really
include
like
this though.
One of my favorite plays in the card is Lauzon.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I don't know. I just feel good about it. Kind of what going up with Robbie said too.
I do.
I just think at this point, what we've seen the last few fights, I just think laying minus like 175 with Cowboys wild right now.
He also beat Jonathan Pierce in his like last fight, and that's not that's a 145er Pierce's, but that's not a bad
longer 145.
Yeah,
too.
That's a good win, especially if that's his last win too. I think Cowboys washed personally, but
yeah.
I mean, when was that fight for Lauzon?
2.5.
Yeah,
maybe?
I think 2, but
yeah.
I
So
can check.
yeah, it's like betting Cowboy as a favorite is a lot, but I think we're looking at 2 washed guys, and in my opinion, Lauzon's more washed.
It was almost 3 years ago.
Who was Cerrone's last fight?
Against Alex Morono,
and he got murdered.
Yeah, that was sad.
I think it was less than a minute. I want to say
that McGregor win is aging.
He did
worse and worse.
He did get mauled in that.
He was in a decent scrap with Nico Price. That was kind of the only thing that he had that draw against Nico Price.
No, it was right at the end of round 1 for Morono, but
it's
still round 1.
I sure hope so.
It may
be winner leaves town.
Yeah, both leave town.
It should be retirement for both.
I think it should be. I mean, 2 legends, like both of them could say they went out against another legend.
Yeah, no, yeah.
The main event for UFC Austin, a fight that we've all been anticipating for a while. Calvin Keator versus Josh Emmett in the featherweight division. This fight is awesome.
I'm
This is
very
one of
glad
the best
Emmett's
matchups
getting.
of the summer. I'm on Calvin Keator, New England Cartel.
Yes.
He's a very heavy favorite in this fight.
I think
we discussed like maybe the odds should be a little closer in this one, especially. What is he minus like 500?
He's
something?
minus like
Oh,
no,
no,
like
no.
230.
Okay, 230.
See, me and Lee have talked about it a lot this week. I basically what you said. Where I think Keator should definitely win the fight. He should have way more output. He's had more experience in these 5-round fights in general. I just think 230 is long, but I think he should win. So I don't really have a like. I would play Keator.
He's a lot crisper.
He's crispier. Like Emmett definitely has more knockout power, but Keator also has a phenomenal chin.
Yeah.
And I think he's smart enough to stay away from that big knockout shot from Emmett. Listen, he's put the lights out on a few guys. Like he definitely is capable of doing it. But I think Keator's is a better fighter. He's fought a lot more. Like Emmett's hasn't like he's only had a few fights the last few years. Like when he's fought, he's looked really good. Nothing against Emmett. I think Emmett's a really strong, talented guy. I just think Keator's the better striker. The fight's gonna go down on the feet.
what's Emmett's path to victory?
Knockout. And I think
once
Keator's
Keator
chin's
been-
really
yeah.
strong. Like that's why I think Keator should definitely win the fight.
Keator went through one of the biggest wars we've ever seen, which was more like attacked, a defensive war for him. And then he goes up against Giga, who does he dominated Giga, but he has some serious. Giga does have some power.
Yeah,
and he ate a lot of, especially early in the rounds. Giga like threw some serious and connected with Keator, and he ate it. I understand Emmett's power is very, very strong, but I like Keator a lot here. I think he'll just piece him up. Emmett sometimes I think is just like his volume's low, and Keator's gonna come in and just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then Emmett's gonna search for that big bomb, and maybe he does find it, but I think it's a lot lower than the 1 or plus 200 implied, which is like around like a 40 to 35% implied probability for to happen. I think he's knockout or bust in my opinion.
Yeah. Fun fact, stat of the day: Emmett has gotten 12 knockdowns in 8 UFC fights. So he's gotten a knockdown in every single fight that he's been in. But this is his first 5-rounder at the same time. So we don't really know how good his cardio is going to be. Very happy though, he's going to get a main event in front of a live crowd for sure. But I don't know how much.
Dug his tattoos. He's got some of the most bright, vibrant.
And he's not super tall, but he's just absolutely shredded out of his mind.
Him and Duron Winn are the same height.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
I honestly
that's a fun fact.
Yeah.
his fight with Burgos was fucking awesome. That was like all-time classic. He dropped Burgos twice in the third round. Burgos has a phenomenal chin as well. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely like Keator in the fight.
Keator late too.
Oh,
I think you have to make
out
props.
Of the Apex, as Tyler mentioned in the chat, are they using the big cage or the small?
I would say it
cage?
should be a 30-footer if it's in Austin.
I agree.
I believe
I'll check that.
I believe it's 30-footer when they're not in the Apex. So
yeah,
I think that actually helps. I think it helps Keator.
I like the small cage. I like the action.
I do too.
Yeah,
I'd be down to put, even though I said I think he's maybe just a slight more favorite than he should be. I'd still be down to put Keator in the parlay.
Me too.
I would be too.
Yeah.
So let's make the parlay now. Keator.
Okay.
He's our main event piece. New England Cartel. Got to roll with him.
Stamen.
Okay. Keator. Bang. Who else?
Cody Stamen.
Okay. Bang.
Then did we want Dawkins or no?
You want to get
first
ballsy first fight of the night? We want to get after it, boys?
I like the Darce Knight.
Okay.
And then maybe one more?
Well,
That
do we want to
is
do
plus 137.
Do we want to do
Guram would be
Guram would make it juicy.
Yeah.
plus 459 would be with Guram.
space.
I like it.
I like that.
And then
So
is there
this would be
anybody else?
Keator, Dawkins, Stamen, and Guram.
If we wanted to take
That could get us to 500 with the boost.
if we wanted to take Guram out and then put in fight doesn't go the distance, Buckley Durav, it goes to plus 256.
What are you guys thinking?
Or we could add that too.
We could add that too.
I love hitting home runs. Fuck singles. Singles, you win on singles, but home runs are fucking sick.
So sick. If we hit that parlay, it would be nuts.
I'm loading the.
If we put all 5 in there, it's plus 738.
Oh my god.
We gotta bet that.
Oh my
Yeah, let's
God.
do it.
That's got to be the
Fuck it.
parlay.
Fuck it.
Fuck
Run
it.
it up.
That's the fuck it parlay.
And
All
if
right.
we hit it,
It could be over
we're
8.
up.
It could be over 800.
We're gonna boost that.
the
We're gonna
boost.
tweet it out. Make
PFL
sure you
tonight.
follow PFL tonight. Go look at our Twitter for the PFL parlay as well, and we will see you guys next week to recap all of it.
This parlay's hitting. I feel it.